Alright, guys. I'm still sick, but we're going to still be doing these, pushing out these readings, okay? So my energy might seem like it's a little down, but it's just because I'm trying to work through this cough. And these winter months, it is draining. Like, I do believe the New Year's is in spring because it feels like death right now. But it's cool. All right, this is a collective reading. Take the reading as it resonates. Doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine, or female or male, you can resonate with either or energy. Look at these readings to help give you guidance rather than me saying that this is your outcome. You guys will your own outcomes and your future. Holy Spirit, angel guys, what do we have for Blue Butterfly? Oh, we got mischief. What else? We have the sun, we have ascension. Ooh, we got spring and we have the secret and we have passion at the top. And we have aristocrat. Whoa, and the seeker. Whoa, what the hell? This is giving me energy of like two people who are mischievous in nature. Like, but it's giving like Harley Quinn and Joker type vibes. Shadowy energy. Not necessarily twin flames, but because one is a high priestess and one is like a magician. I feel like one person has like a slick energy and the seeker is the high priestess energy. They're curious, but these two are curious about each other because they both have wisdom and they express their wisdom in different ways. But one is a magician. So it's like, I feel like this is a spiritual couple. It's like if you had a masculine who did magic, right? And then you had a feminine who who have abilities too, but she doesn't do the physical magic. She might do energy work where, like, he'll do energy work where it's like the physical aspect of it. She might do energy work where it's the unseen version of it, like Reiki versus spells and potions. Does that make sense? But they both have a mischievousness about them. Like, this seems like a fun couple. I ain't even gonna lie. But it's giving that type of vibe. Like, Harley Quinn, Joker, Bonnie, Clyde. But they're not necessarily like they're, okay, they're this is the right word. They're like a badass type of energy. So spring, they might come together in spring. Something's going to happen in spring. There's a secret. This connection might be a secret. And maybe it might be revealed in spring to the public, but it's something about it is going to be secretive. I don't think people are going to know that these two are dealing with each other. They make each other happy and there's a lot of passion. We have defiance. So these two are rebellious. Like, they have a rebellious energy to them. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. And we have ascension. So they are divine. I feel like they are spiritual. But the type of work that they're here to do is like, I don't know. Maybe they're here to awaken people who have a darker energy to them. Like they're meant to reach those type of souls. So this could be healers who touch really dark places in people. We have secretly want to be you. We have always on my mind. I only want you. Scared to face you. What else, Holy Spirit, angel guides? So this connection is definitely in separation. So spring is when they might reach out. We have I'm spying and thinking of you. So someone's definitely secretly watching. However, They have access to your energy. They're watching. We have I feel foolish. Now is the right time, which is spring. I love you. Give me a couple more on this energy. Oh, karmic is spying. So that could also be a twin flame. Or maybe I was wrong and this is a twin flame. There's a twin flame who might be secretly watching and wanting their twin back, but their twin might not want them. We'll see. We have karmic is spying. You're so fine to me. I think about you when I'm with her. Oh. A true emperor. They are wearing a mask. They are competing for your attention. Okay, so there's a couple different energies here. This new person is the one. Some of you guys are going to meet a new person. Right person, wrong timing. I think that's someone from the past. Forgive them and move on. So it is a couple people here. Maybe about 3 energies. There could be a twin flame who still wants this connection, who's secretly spying. There's somebody who's in a connection and they watch you even though they're in another connection secretly. And then there's a new person. So let's find out what's going on in this energy. Let's focus on the aristocrat and the seeker energy. Tell me about this secret energy, Holy Spirit, angel guides, and the springtime. Why is this energy coming out? Who is this person? Or who are these people? We have 5 of Wands and we have Judgment. Okay, so this is returning energy. Someone's had a huge awakening about a fight, a conflict. They look at something completely different. I think that something ended, like there was a final ending, and it forced someone to really look at what happened in the situation, and it changed their, or it gave them a big realization, like, because they had to sit and think. What is this realization about? Page of Swords. Someone's watched, observed, learned. 12 of Pentacles. Something they didn't see before because they just couldn't comprehend it. The space that they were in was very... It was like... How do I say? It was their mindset. Their mindset wasn't... They had a poor mindset, not a rich mindset, right? So because they had a poor mindset, when something ended and it was a final ending, like they can't come back, it made this person sit and think about themselves and analyze themselves. So they had to look at the bigger picture. They had to look at everything in the situation. I think they were really pissed when they moved on. That's why we have the defiance energy, because I think that this person was... They have a temper, right? They're easily angered. So they had to look at their temper. Like, why am I so angry? Why did this make me so angry? Okay, so their anger affected the connection. They were happy in this connection. this is the two that we were talking about, like that Harley Quinn type couple. Hi, Jenny. They got angry, and they have grown because we have ascension. They had this is someone who had a lot of passion for this connection, a lot of love for this connection. It made them very, very happy. But I think that they also hid how happy it made them. They didn't express that. But they refused to acknowledge that they had a temper. So when something happened in the connection, they got angry. And that was a part of why they moved forward. But they've grown. They've grown because of they've grown because of the heartbreak. Like, because of the breakup, the separation, it hurted. They got to see their ego. They finally saw that it was their ego that actually messed up this connection. What were they upset about? Why did they get upset? Six of Wands. What? Why is the Six of Wands there? Oh. See, I feel like they got upset at the feminine because maybe the feminine was more secure in herself. Hi, Serena. Maybe the feminine, hi, Kim West. Maybe the feminine was more secure in herself, and she didn't really like chase after the connection. She did not, maybe she didn't emotionally express her feelings as well in the connection. And I feel like this masculine expected her to, and because she didn't, it made him feel like it was one-sided. It made him upset. I feel like he felt like the feminine was like maybe either being prideful, but I don't think she was being prideful. I think that he just misunderstood. It seems like a situation where maybe the feminine learned from the past that not to move so quickly in a connection. That, like, people can tell you that they love you or they want to be with you, but they can switch up so easily. So, thank you, Philip. I don't do personal readings on lives. These are collectives. But it's like they could have felt like, it feels like, okay, you know, if somebody is like telling you, oh, you look so good, and somebody is like complimenting you all the time, and then they're telling you how they want to be with you and how much they love the connection, da 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 da. I feel like maybe they were doing that, right? The masculine energy doesn't have to be male or female. You could be either or in that energy. But the masculine energy seemed to have been more like on the connection, selling like a fantasy dreams. And I feel like the feminine just wasn't giving into it. She was more so in an energy of like, you have to show me. Like I've already dealt with that before, where someone sold me a fantasy dream and then they did not turn out to be who they said they were. So sweet words don't mean nothing to me without action. And I think they misunderstood it. They mistook it for like she didn't care for them or she didn't want them as bad as they wanted her. So then that temper came there. And if they had a disagreement or a conflict and she didn't she didn't chase after them, right? It made them feel like, well, she doesn't love me. She doesn't want me. It's that energy. But they're spying, and I don't know who, I still don't know which one they are of those characters. Tell me more about them. King of Wands. Oh, it was really upside down. So we have Two of Cups and we have King of Wands in the reverse. What else? That's that temper. They could be a fire. They could be a fire sign. Don't have to be. Oh my God, we got the King of Swords in the reverse too. What else? Oh, these are the different masculines. Okay. The Tower in the reverse. This feminine dealt with two masculines who were in similar energy like this. They both had a temper. They both didn't like something that she might have said, or that she wasn't really chasing them. I feel like they were used to people making them feel like they were the prize. And that made them upset when she didn't do it. It's like they almost felt like she was playing a game. I think they're just used to people chasing them. I feel like they wanted to be chased. Thank you, Philip. I feel like they wanted to chase. They wanted to be chased. And they didn't get that. So they got a temper, and then they kind of got manipulative. I feel like they did something to manipulate the situation. They could have used silence to manipulate the situation, to make the other person reach out, but I feel like that didn't work. If they used silence as a manipulation tactic to get the feminine to reach out, it made the feminine walk away, right? It didn't make her reach out because she wasn't gonna chase. She was more mature about the situation. They didn't have clarity. They weren't seeing things properly. Oh, why is that Two of Swords in the reverse? Two of Pentacles sideways. Nine of Swords upright. They made the wrong choice. They went about this bad. Why is the Nine of Swords and the Two of Pentacles here? Three of Swords reverse. What else? Temperance. The Magician. Five of Swords. Oh my gosh. It took this person a long time to have a different perspective. They had to sit there and miss this connection and let go of their ego and their pride. Spirit told this person that until they balance out themselves, this connection will not manifest for them. So I feel like the separation, the universe kept them separated because it was like, you have a this person has a big ass ego. It's like, you have a big ass ego. You have a lot of passion for this connection, but you're letting your pride get in the way because you're villainizing this feminine that she hurt you, but you're not looking at your actions in the situation. And when the connection finally ended, because she wasn't chasing them, they had to sit with the fact that they tried to manipulate it by giving silent treatment to make her chase them. And it actually made the situation worse because she was looking for an adult, not a child. And they were acting like a child because of their ego and their pride. So they didn't want to see themselves as the person who was the problem in the situation. They were kind of like blaming her. So it caused them a lot of stress when they realized that the connection was actually over. Because I think that when they had conflict, they thought it was just going to be like a couple of days and then she'll come running right back. If they give her the silent treatment, she'll reach out to them and she'll tell them like, I'm sorry, let's talk it. They were being toxic. They didn't want her to leave. They wanted her to fix the situation because they felt like she's the one in the wrong. And then they weren't looking at their own behavior, and then they finally realized that she's not coming. And then that further made them villainize her and played the victim, because it was like, I knew she didn't care. She doesn't love me. She doesn't want me. And then after time passed on and they realized like she's really gone, she's not coming back, and they miss her and they want her, and they refuse to reach out even though they care and they want her, they started realizing their own part that they played. What made them realize that they created damage in here as well? Seven of Wands in the reverse. That blockage got removed. What blockage? Six of Cups. Seven of Swords. They were lying to themselves. They were defensive. They realized that they were being defensive. In order for them to balance out themselves, they had to let their guard down. They had their guard up. So that's why they were so triggered by her when she didn't do things the way they wanted her to do it, because they were the ones that had their guard up. Hi, Mac. Oh, that's so cool, from Russia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She had her, I think that she was open to the connection. They had their guard up. So they were defensive against anything that they felt like they had to let their guard down. So they lied to themselves about how the connection actually really played out. They were wounded. Their mindset was very negative. Ooh, I'm glad that they didn't end up with her, because they were like, and this person is very arrogant. They were very arrogant. I mean, take it as it resonates, because I read past, present, future, so it could be current for some of you guys, but they came off very arrogant. They're self-centered. And when they wouldn't like something, they would draw their energy. So that was just how they were. If they don't like how you respond to them, they kind of ghost you, remove you out of their life. Which is it's like a child that has a tantrum, right? Where it's like, I don't like what you said to me, but it's the truth. But it's like, they're like, I don't like that you said that to me, so I don't want to be your friend, right? And it's like, what? Just because I told you that your pants was really long and it was getting stuck in the mud, you're mad at me? Why did you tell me that? You embarrassed me. And it's like, well, I didn't mean to embarrass you. I thought you would want to know that your pants is too long and it's tracking mud, like, so that you could fix that. It's something like that. Like, that's how they got triggered, like a child. It was like they got so immature. And then their way of dealing with it is to withdraw their energy. So they weren't addressing anything. This person they were selfish. They did not know how to give in a connection. But they had to sit there and think about how they are as a partner. I think they gradually started learning about partnership because they wanted it. They wanted real love. And they looked at themselves finally, like, from that perspective of what are they like as a partner in a relationship. When we really can ask that question, and okay, you could get up off of here, Selena. This is not, if y'all don't like the readings, you don't have to say anything. You could just get on, because you guys, these are collective readings and they're not personal. You don't have to watch tarot. If you don't like an energy that's coming out, just exit. It's that simple. You don't have to project negative comments. Readers, we're human. We pick up energy. So you're changing the dynamic of the reading with your negativity, triggering us in the middle of reading it to have to address your stupidity. No one tell you to stay stuck in a connection that you don't want to be in. So if you don't like it, exit it. And if you don't want to hear the stories, don't fucking listen to it. It's that goddamn simple, okay? Like, and I'm not talking to the collective that, you guys are good. Y'all know I'm talking to the trolls. And, like, I know y'all like to tell me, well, you ain't got to say nothing to them. I do, because they get on my fucking nerves. And I want them to feel that energy of stay the fuck away if you don't like it. A lot of tarot readers just block them and they don't address it. But I'm going to address it because y'all need to know, like, we don't care. Just go. It's not for you. It's for the people who need the healing, for the people who need the understanding and the insight. Okay? Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, Mac. But anyways, let's get back to the reading. So, yeah, the way they dealt with things would just be to withdraw their energy. So when you get to that point where you think about yourself as a partner in the relationship, that's actually when you're actually ready to be in a partnership, in a relationship, because you're not just looking for what you can get from someone. You're looking for how you can be an aid to someone as well. Like, what are you bringing to the table rather than what does someone have to give me? And that's the energy that I feel here. It's like these two could have been a great match, but they also were a match in the way they triggered each other, because they both have that energy to them, the feminine and the masculine, where it's like, I'm not going to chase you. The feminine didn't feel like she needed to be chased. She didn't want that. She wanted a partnership, but she also didn't feel like, I'm going to chase you. If you put me in that position to have to chase you, I'm going to walk away too. I'll ghost your ass too. That was her response to it, right? So that made them frustrated because she was strong in her decision to stay away. And they never met that before. Like, they always had people chasing after them, kissing after them. So they took some time to analyze themselves as a partner. And they feel like if they had another opportunity to do things differently, they would change the way that they behave. Because along their journey, right? Because I'm reading past, present, future. So we're reading the storyline of how they began in the connection to where they're going. Now, along their journey, they learned this about themselves, and they started to change because they started doing a lot of self-reflection. Eight of Cups. They realized that they wanted to be happy. They probably also realized that this was a pattern within relationships that they've been in, that they tend to behave the same way, and people walk away from them, or people don't want to deal with them because they come off so, like, one-sided and mean. Because remember, they didn't want this connection to end. They wanted the feminine to chase them. So they've grown. Six of Pentacles. Now they could be in a harmonious connection. Back then they couldn't have been. Knight of Swords. They took action to change, right? And go through a full rebirth. Okay, so what does that mean for the High Priestess? Ten of Wands. What else? Queen of Wands sideways. What else? Seven of Pentacles. What else? They're afraid she would not want to invest in them anymore because of the stress that they caused on her. Nine of Cups. They feel like she might not see them as their wish fulfillment. Someone that would be a good partner to her. So they also have that thinking of, maybe she doesn't see me as a good partner anymore. Two of Wands, Seven of Cups. They also feel like she has other choices, or she will in the future, right? But they feel like she's a high priestess. She can see through. She has, it's like whatever she told them in the past, they realized that she was futuristic. Like, she was looking at things from so many different angles. And once they started to grow, I feel like some of the things that she either told them or in her behavior, how she behaved, they started to see that she actually had a higher perspective. So she was looking at things from a higher perspective than they were. Their mindsets was completely different. And that's why the connection wasn't working, because they weren't really aligned to her. It's like they realized they were immature and she was more mature. So they caused her injustice because of their perspective of the world, of life. I feel like they do catch up to her mindset. So they see her completely different. They no longer victimize themselves or her, but they finally see that she was coming from a good place. They want to start again. They still have a lot of passion for her, but they're trying to make sure they don't come in that way because they don't want to lose the connection again. They want to start over and they want to come in stronger. They want to come in with their heart. King of Cups. And they want her to give to them. Queen of Pentacles and the Star. Wait, do we have King of Cups? Oh, Knight of Cups. Okay, they want to date her. There goes the King of Cups. So they want to be the King of Cups and they want her to be... Hey, twin. We almost done too. You're going to have to restart. They want her to be the Queen of Pentacles to give to them. And they want to be the King of Cups to come in with an open heart. They want to heal the connection. But this is still hidden. So they're still going to stay withdrawn. Ace of Cups. Okay, they're waiting until they become this Emperor. So they do, from where they started off to where they end up, they change. They change. They become an Emperor. And they become a lot more soft-hearted. They're not as selfish as they were in the beginning of the connection. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, their abundance, independence. They want to come in as a giver. But they want to offer something. They want to offer a lot. I feel like they feel like that would make up from the past. Or they're hoping that it could. Like they want to invest something physical as well. This person also becomes a hierophant. And that's what I felt. I felt like the feminine aspect is the high priestess and the masculine aspect is the hierophant. I think that when they're ready to reach out and have a conversation, it's going to be a slow conversation. There's going to be a lot to talk about, but it's going to start off slow. And they're going to hope that she can open up her heart by the end of it, right? And want to invest in something with her. I mean, with them. The Empress, Eight of Wands, Knight of Wands, the Devil, Chariot. They're hoping that they could squash the past. Like, they're not trying to bypass it and talking about it, but they kind of want to let it go and they want to start over. So it's like, because they want to give new energy. They don't, it's not that they're trying to brush it under the rug. They're just like, I want to talk about the situation. And after we talk about the situation, I want to just start fresh and move forward in the new energies that we are. I don't want to dwell on the past and what happened and who I used to be, because that's not the way that I'm showing up today. Because remember, they were selfish, but it's like now they want to give. So they just want to focus on the fact that they want to give. Was this person in a connection with somebody else? Because remember, we had a couple different energies. Page of Wands sideways, Page of Cups upright. The Moon, what else? Page of Coins. Okay, no. In this situation, this person, they weren't. This person was single. So I think they just didn't know. They just didn't know themselves enough. They didn't know what they really truly wanted yet. They still had to grow and figure out themselves. They offered a little bit of love, even though they had a lot of emotions and feelings. They dreamt about this connection a lot. They also knew that they needed to do soul work, and they felt like one day when the time was right, they would pursue this connection again. So the other energies that came out, remember I said it was about 3 energies? I think those are other people from the past who want this connection back. But the main character of the story, where we started off with the aristocrat and the seeker, that energy, these two are they're the main story, and I feel like this is where Spirit is saying forgive them and move on. But that moving on don't mean that if you want this connection, you need to move on from them. It just means that forgive them and move on from the past, because this person has become a true emperor, right? So things are ready to work out, and that's the energy that they're in, where it's like, I want to come back and I want to tell the truth. Let them know where I've been and what I've learned. I've seen my selfish ways and I see this feminine differently. I only want this connection. I know I did wrong, and I want to talk about it, and then I want to let it go and never be in that energy again, or talk about that energy again. They want to start new. So some of you guys haven't met this person. But this character is the one, even though it started off this way. Now, for some of you guys, it's a completely new person that's the one. And this is somebody who is going to be a character where you forgive them, but you move on, because it has to do with a timing thing. So it depends on you, and it depends on the timeline. If this person catches up to your timeline and you still want them, then it manifests as forgive them and move forward, right? Let go of the past, move forward, because they're still there on your timeline. If they take a really, really long time, like let's say they're still taking 4 more years, and you are seeking and wanting love now, somebody else is going to come in because they're not aligning themselves to your timeline. So it'll be a situation where it's like the new person is going to be the one, and they're going to be one of these energies from the past who's going to want you, but it's going to be a little too late type situation. So that's what we got, Blue Butterfly Gang Gang. If it resonated with you guys, give me a big fat thumbs up. And that is all. That is our last reading for tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to do more zodiac signs. Some zodiac signs have already been done. We have Gemini, Cancer, Aries, and Pisces. If you guys want to check that out. Tomorrow we're going to do Capricorn, Taurus, Libra, and Virgo. And then we're going to do some new readings. We're going to do readings for the creatives and the star seeds. So I'm trying something new so we could have different types of readings for different people in the collective in ways that it can help you heal. And then we'll also be doing new love and stuff too for those of you guys manifesting new love. So stick with me. If you guys like it, let me know. And yeah, give me a big thumbs up if you resonated with the energy. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.